Hi, my name's Tassone. I find myself gravitating towards the jazzy side of that sound. So First Light, it's, the sunrise. It's really the sunrise of my career as a producer. I put a lot of work in and I play a lot. It's such a big question. I remember the first day I got my decks. It's still very challenging when dealing with the scene at large, and there's also crossover with the huge psytrance scene. And so I've played in Tokyo and that was amazing. I played at, I think it was called the Red Room in Shibuya. I'd like to write an album.
What is it about drum and bass that makes you love it? Hello everybody from the Bridge Hotel, Psyheads and Bass Station double event. Please introduce yourself for the viewers.
Hi, my name's Tassone.
Hello Tassone. This is your surname as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my mum's maiden name. Yeah.
Usually I ask artists about their artist names, so I'm gonna ask you, so why did you choose the surname and not some other like artist name, fancy, obscure, whatever?
So Tassone isn't actually my real last name. It is my mum's last name, and I just wanted to honor her through my music because my mum's always been someone that I've enjoyed music with, so yeah.
So what is it? So you're a drum and bass producer and DJ, as I understand, right? What is it about drum and bass that makes you love it?
It's such a big question. I've always loved drum and bass. I think I started listening to drum and bass from dubstep and techno. And drum and bass, I feel like just connects with my brain really well for some reason. The speed of it, the chaos of it. And I find myself gravitating towards the jazzy side of that sound. I just find it beautiful. Yeah, I really can't answer that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So how long have you been DJing and producing?
So I've been DJing for about 4 years and I've been producing for 2 years. But really in the last kind of 6-7 months, I've been doing it full time. Full time, so that's interesting. So have you released anything on any labels? Can you tell us? So I've released a couple of different things on compilations, but I have my first EP being released on Soul Deep Recordings. That's a UK label, and that's a 4-track EP, very jazzy, liquid. I've got a couple of other things up my sleeve. I can't say too much, but I do have another EP coming. And a couple of other remixes and bits and pieces coming.
Oh, nice. So this, can you tell the name of this 4-track EP?
It's called First Light.
First Light. What's the? Can you tell a little bit about the meaning behind that?
So First Light, it's the sunrise. It's really the sunrise of my career as a producer. My first release, and the EP is really just a journey of a lot of feelings that I've had at that time of day. There's a story in there about me and my partner on one of the tracks that I collaborated with Amy Kisnorbo, an amazing vocalist from the UK. Yeah, so I guess you'll just have to wait and see.
Right. I also have been told by people in the scene that you are apparently currently one of the hottest sort of drum and bass local original DJs and producers. What do you have to say about that?
I don't know. I mean, I put a lot of work in and I play a lot. I don't know. That's, yeah, Really? I just do a lot, I guess. And I'm trying to cultivate a community around what I do and what I'm passionate about. It seems to be working, so that's really cool to hear.
Are you based in Sydney?
Yes, I am in Newtown.
And so you said you have been DJing for 4 years, and how long have you been actually performing like DJing at the gigs? Also for 4 years?
So I started, and then really I think it was about a month later I played my first gig, and then a couple of weeks later I threw my first warehouse party. So it's been very quick. I remember the first day I got my decks, I actually took a sickie and DJ'd for 15 hours straight without moving. So I learned very quick. I taught myself very quick because I was just so passionate. Yeah.
What kind of decks were they, or was it a controller or something?
I learnt on a little RX unit. I eventually upgraded to 3 decks. But yeah, those little RX2 units are fantastic to learn on, and I recommend anyone that's learning to grab one.
So from as far as I know, there are not very many women drum and bass DJs. So how is it to be a woman drum and bass DJ, and what do you think more generally how women in this industry are doing? And
Look, to be honest with you, it's still very challenging when dealing with the scene at large. Myself, I guess what I've been trying to do is give women a fair go. I think last year about 80-something% of my lineups had female or non-binary headliners. So I'm really trying to push that change, and there has been a lot of change in the scene. It's just something that has started. I think a lot of women through COVID were empowered to try new things and try learning how to play, and they're fucking awesome. They're great. Sorry to swear, but they're great. And like a lot of the femmes that I see play, they're actually better than a lot of the men. So you know what I mean? Like, I think things are changing, times are changing, but it is still very challenging. And I think as long as women work together, we're going to get there.
In terms of drum and bass, where do you think Australian drum and bass stands comparing to, like, say, let's not compare to UK, let's say in the world?
It's hard to say because there's a lot of micro scenes everywhere. Australia, what we have is, I think we have a lot of diversity in sound. We have a lot of different crews that specialize in one certain vibe. And there's also crossover with the huge psytrance scene. And we're starting to see drum and bass enter the doof scene, which is fucking awesome. I'm so happy about that. Yeah, so I mean, in terms of a worldwide view, I would compare us. I mean, New Zealand has just completely overtaken the UK, and we're so close to New Zealand, so I think we have potential. We do have a strong scene.
Is that so? New Zealand has overtaken the UK?
Yeah, well, I would say so. New Zealand has just been crazy. I think because of COVID, they didn't get smashed by COVID so bad, so they still had festivals and things like that happening. And now a lot of the tours that come through, everyone hits New Zealand. So, yeah.
Can you name maybe a couple of your current favorite drum and bass producers?
So hard. I love DJ Marky. Marky's amazing. Paul SG, Alpac. Oh, God, there is really so many. It's very hard to say. But anyone that leans on that jazzy, sampled, liquidy kind of sound. Anything on Jazz Sticks, anything on Inner Ground. Those two labels are just fantastic. And Soul Deep, of course, as well. Like Scott's doing some amazing work, and all the EPs that have come out recently have just been fantastic. Can you tell me what was the most sort of spectacular place that you've traveled for playing in Australia, or have you traveled overseas for playing? So I've played in Tokyo, and that was amazing. I played at, I think it was called the Red Room in Shibuya. It's insane, absolutely insane. There was actually a couple of Aussies there as well, which I found so cool. Recently I played in Alice Springs, which was insane. It was like a little warehouse in the middle of middle of Alice Springs. It was just awesome. And the people there, like, I did not know there was a little scene there. So cool.
How did it happen that you played in Japan?
So I reached out to a couple of people. They had heard my music, and they just invited me to come along. It's amazing. I ended up playing, and then sitting down at the bar with a couple of locals, and the bartender was just free pouring all these shots. It was amazing. Yeah, it was really life-changing.
Was it like a drum and bass event only, or different genres of music?
Yeah, it was a drum and bass event. Yeah, run by Hangover Crew. Amazing guys. I really love them. I can't wait to see them again.
So from what you can tell, what's the scene, drum and bass scene in Japan like?
It's small, but it's very dedicated. I feel like the Japanese people, if they love something, they truly love it. So, you know, it was really funny to see copies of the same type of people in the crowd. I feel like every crowd has similar people. So there was, you know, I likened the crowd to a lot of my friends back home. The guy that's always at every single event. You know, like, you can actually place those people. It's very weird. Yeah.
Nice. What currently is your sort of dream event to play at?
I know exactly. Sun and Bass. I absolutely love Sun and Bass. Like, I have seen lots of footage, I've looked at the lineups, and I think that's where I really fit musically. So that's kind of the goal, where I'd like to go to. But before that, I'd love to go to America. I'd love to go to Brazil. I'd love to go and stay in Brazil somewhere and play on a beach somewhere for a couple of months. So those things are definitely on my to-do list.
So this Sun and Bass, you said, festival, where does that happen?
That's in Sardinia, in Italy. It's a little island. Well, it's a big island off the coast of Italy, and it happens every year.
And as a musician, what are your, let's say, midterm goals that you would like to achieve?
I'd like to write an album. I think I'm starting to get there slowly. It's a lot of work. I think that's probably number one. And maybe to support someone like DJ Marky would just be amazing.
What sort of, in terms of the album, what sort of time frame roughly with thinking about? Like 3 years, 5 years?
Oh, try 1 year. I am like a rocket. I do a lot. I work fast. You know, once I really love something, I won't stop, and that's what it's been with music. I just haven't stopped. So I reckon a year.
Yeah, that's nice. Have you played at the Bridge Hotel before?
Never. It's my first time, and like, I'm pretty excited. I'm playing at midnight, so it'll be really cool. It sounds great in there, so I'm definitely nervous. I'm always nervous before any gig that I play. I think it's a good thing, because when you're not nervous anymore, it means that you don't really care about what you're doing, right? So I'm super nervous right now, but very excited.
That's nice. Looking forward to your set. Thank you very much for talking to me. It's nice to meet you finally in person. I've been hearing a lot, and I've been, you know, watching some of your stuff and you playing at little clips. So again, thank you very much. I wish you all the best with your goals. Any last words?
Go check out my EP when it comes out. It will be on all the different places online. I'll be posting about it. It's with Soul Deep Recordings, called First Light by Tassone.
Yes, First Light. Check it out. And thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned. We are at the Bridge Hotel at Psyheads and Base Station. All the best.